A wonderful viewer wrote in and she said, how do you pray? And the thing is that I've already answered that question, but today I'm going to tell you from a different perspective. At the very, very early stages of my awakening, I started listening to Alice Bailey, Seth Speaks, books that are, even the people that are spiritual for 20 some odd years are not able to really truly comprehend the messages that Seth's books are trying to get you across. They're trying to convey to you a different perspective that you know you have it, but you kind of forgot it. It's not easy. They're not easy books. And I honestly, I still don't know why, but within months of my awakening, I'm talking about a couple months, I came across Seth Speaks and it resonated with me so much that today, when I wake up in the morning, I get verses of books of Seth that I need to read, and they give me just the title or the chapter of the book in which I just need to read. If I read that chapter, I'll know the book. So it's difficult to explain because one thing that I learned from very get-go was how to pray. So when I pray to me. I pray to that large, I get goosebumps every time. I pray to that larger aspect of me, my higher self, that remains non-physically focused. For most of you, for a lot of viewers today, they would think that is a blasphemy for anybody to call Christ anything less than the King, the Son of God, when in real fact, I put myself, you, and everyone in the same category. The trick and the way that religion came about with controlling minds and trying to manipulate your life and creating guilt and then creating heaven and hell in order to control and manipulate you, that's where everything went down south. Everything took a completely different direction in our entire mankind and understanding that comes to religion. Because for those day and age, the time of Christ, Son of God, because if I call him anything else than Son of God, people won't like it. For the Son of God, for anybody, for that time period that lived and witnessed some of the psychic abilities of Christ, it was a new thing. It didn't happen before. People hadn't seen anyone coming through alignment with Source and talking through that awareness, becoming self-aware that the kingdom of heaven is in your heart. Luke 10:34. Your eyes are doorways to your soul. Something in that regards to tell people that it's your soul that matters. But a big part of the Bible, again, by creating guilt, they change and modify it. And this is a Scandi book of all time. There is not a book and there's not a religion that has killed as much as Christianity had. Christ himself wasn't even a Christian. That being said, for those day and age, to see somebody coming to alignment with their higher self was, wow, he is the God, he's saint, he's the Son of God. And these are the names that many of you believe, and putting yourself in that place, you are putting yourself unworthy, that you are disconnected for some reason from God, that you need him to be saved. You put yourself in a place of non-believing that you're worthy of anything. and that, like, for instance, is the priest to listen to your sins and forgive you. All of that is putting you in a vibration of I'm unworthy, I need to be saved. So for you, when you pray, your God exists outside of you, when in real fact every fiber of your being is God. You are created in God's image. Genesis 1, 27, 26, 27. I wake up, there are days that I wake up, I have verses of Bible because I've asked to be shown, and there are verses of Bibles that I'm shown to read. I wake up with Genesis 1, for instance, 26, and I cross-reference that with my beliefs, and then I realize that the Bible is a historical book, a book to read and realize that you can come to alignment with your higher self, and that you can achieve psychic abilities and become a wonderful healer, a fantastic teacher like Christ was. And no, God did not hammer his only one son on the cross. There is no exception to the universe. He is no any different than he's just a regular guy, just like who you are. And putting yourself in that vibration of believing that there's that one worthy, that one son of God that came to save me and died for me, that just comes from that guilt, the shame that was created, that was built within you through eons and eons, for you to recognize and associate yourself as this flesh and blood, that you need to be saved, that you needed someone to die for you, and the only way to get through Muhammad's God, Christ is God, Buddha is God, they're all the same. In one form or another, they're all saying the same thing. You are God, you are extension of source, and the sooner you come to realize that your prayers can be the most phenomenal thing that you can ever do. Like I said, at the very first stages of my awakening, one of the first things that I learned was how to pray. Suddenly, a veil was lifted. I realized that when I pray to me. So I thank me every day for this opportunity, for this expansion on earth. I thank me for putting me here to learn, to get to know all of yous, to push forth my thoughts and realize and learn the law of attraction. There is so much you as an infinite co-creator that you know, that's within you, that's deep coded in your soul, and that you could open up. Just let go of what you were told. Let go of upsetting your grandmother, telling her you're praying to you. What? You're praying to you? Since when that happens? You praying to Jesus? Stop saying that crap. Go take your pills. Get rid of that cultural conditioning and the ways that you were brought up. Get rid of it all. You're here. You're your own God. You're the master of your own life. So start right off the bat. Build your own belief and set it up the way you want it. When people tell me how I pray, it hurts me for a second, because when I hear him, oh, like, you know, okay, I'm going to give you this example. I'm going to give you this example. This is a very good example. I was going to this center for my mediumship, and once we were holding hand and we prayed for someone who was dealing with cancer, breast cancer, and the way people were praying around me, it just like I almost got a headache, because they were like, we pray that she doesn't die and that she has kids, and poor her kids and her husband. I was like, whoa. And I was the new kid around the block. I had just started going to that center. Everybody is almost 3 times my age, or if they're around same age, they've been going there for 10 years or 15 years, for years and years. I couldn't come to tell them that this is not the way you pray. That's not the way you put yourself in that vibration of, if I'm worthy, please, universe, grant me this. No, ask and it is given. It's already there before you said it. It's at your door. It's delivered to you. So that day, I decided to shut my mouth and that I didn't say anything while this prayer was going on. That day, while I was meditating, I was told to start writing the way I pray, and that write it on a small piece of paper or a post-it and give it to my teacher and ask him to repeat it and say it to everybody. And I went back and said to my God, there's no way I'm going to do this. That I'm not going to say that to them. Impossible. I've only started going there. I'm not going to tell them how to pray. Everybody's been like 10 years medium. I just started. I'm not going to do that. Already, like, you know, blonde coming in there, all the tension. I'm not doing that. So that day, my guides told me, all right, we're going to show you. We'll show you. We'll show you why you're going to do it. That day, I felt something picked me up from the back of my neck, almost like a puppy being picked up. And then I was dropped in a dark hole. I can only describe it as a dark hole. I was going down so fast with the speed that it was scary. I get shivers, I get goosebumps. I'm thinking about it because I didn't like it. I was like being thrown down into something, and I said it. I said, that has to stop. I don't like this. Stop. I don't like this. And then as I said, okay, I'm going to get out of meditation. This is it. Right away at around this time, my feet, I felt I stand up. I'm standing up on something. So I started walking. Now that I've touched ground, I'm starting to walk and I'm looking around and everything was dark. But when I say dark, pitch dark, so dark that I'm like, what am I looking at? Where is this place? Then I saw like buildings and I saw trees and everything. The feeling behind was a person, as if a person was a tree or a person was the building. It's really difficult to describe. I'm going to do my best. So then I said, what is this? They told me, look around. Do you see this? I was like, yeah, it feels like it, like an entire, like a world, a different world that is made out of these dark vibration, dark people. I don't know what I'm saying. They told me, this is where they are. Do you see how they pray? They're like in that, they dug their own hole. They're in that little dark place where they don't see the light. They don't see anything what you see. Are you going to tell them now how to pray? And that was the day that I decided to never again argue with my guides. So I was like, oh my God. I looked around, I was like, I understand now. I will. I promise next week, first thing I do, I'll go see my teacher. And I did that. Anyways, I came out of my meditation. It was so, I felt so dense. I almost couldn't breathe. I was like, what was that? And the message for me was, look where they are. You're gonna help them. If we showed you something, we want you to share it. And that was like, okay, that's it. Me, I'm going to dedicate my life to showing people, bring light to their lives, bring love in their hearts. So that day I went and I wrote it down on a piece of post-it, and I hadn't told my teacher what was my plan. I was behind him and he was getting crystals and stuff out of a box. I was right behind him. He said to me, Sam, it's you, and you have something to give me. I was like, oh my God. I was like, yes, I do. And then I said to him, you know, I kind of was hesitating, but I have to give you this. So, yeah, this is the way I think people should pray. I think that, you know, I tried to come so humble. And then he looked at it and I said, that's beautiful. That's wonderful. Anyways, I will find my post-it because I wrote a copy to myself. I was given those words, so I wrote it in. I will write it in the comment box in this video. So when you pray to you, to your higher self, that larger aspect of you that knows every bit about you and why you're here. Thank you guys for listening to this video.